Good question. I guess I see my job as helping people to achieve their personal fitness goals. That's my main priority. Of course, there are many things that come into it, like educating clients about their general health as well as exercise. But basically, my job is to build an individual exercise program for each client. And it's very simple. A big part of my job is to motivate people. That's why a lot of people call me. They can't stick to an exercise program by themselves. And one thing that's very important is to make sure that the program suits their lifestyle. A lot of my clients are very busy people, so I plan their workouts early in the morning. And another reason is that often they simply don't know what to do, which exercises to do, how to use the equipment, etc. And people... Oh, definitely. I don't know if you know, but One Job's website lists personal trainer as one of the top 10 most interesting jobs, which is probably why more than 250,000 people choose to do this as a career. For me, the best part is working with clients. You build very strong personal relationships. Many of my clients are like friends. It's amazing how much I learn about their personal lives. So it's great in that way. And it's wonderful when you see that you have helped someone become fit, lose weight, and just be generally healthier. It's a great job overall. One thing that's great is that I work for myself. I'm my own boss. And what's great is that I don't have to go to an office 9 to 5 every day. And, of course, I am extremely fit. I guess there are pros and cons to any job, and what can be difficult is that sometimes my clients call me at the last minute and cancel appointments. As I said, they're busy people, so they can't always keep appointments. And, of course, the other thing is that if I get sick, like if I get a cold or something, I can't work. I don't want to make my clients sick, and it's not safe to exercise when you're sick either. And if I don't work, I don't get paid. Well, there are personal trainers who work with celebrities, and they make a lot of money. I mean, they're earning a fortune, like thousands of dollars for each session. But it's not like that for most of us. Most of us are earning about $35,000 to $40,000 a year.
Hey, Alex, you won't believe this. I saw an ad online yesterday for the perfect summer job. Well, perfect for me anyway.
Really? What kind of job?
It's with a travel company. I don't know if you've heard of them, Canada Travel, but they're looking for local tour guides, just part-time, but that's okay. I'll be working on my final paper this summer. So, yeah, I'll have time, but I can still study too.
A tour guide, huh? That sounds interesting. What do you have to do exactly?
Well, it says it's a fun summer job, and they want someone who enjoys meeting students from other countries. I'd love that. I mean, it's fun talking to people from overseas. You find out so much about people. And you know me, I'll talk to anyone.
Yeah, that's true. So what else do you need? I mean, do you have to speak another language or anything?
Yeah. The funny thing is, they want people who can speak English and Spanish. I mean, I lived in Chile for 2 years, so my Spanish is pretty good. But one of the main things they want is for you to be interested in your local area and its history.
Really? Oh, this job really is perfect for you. I mean, you spend every weekend going to museums and visiting all the historical sites.
I know, and just think, the best thing is I'll get paid for doing it.
Cool. It sounds fun, actually.
Oh, and you get to travel around the whole region for 2 days a week.
Wow. So you'll be taking tourists on day trips and stuff like that. I mean, if you get the job. So what do you have to do to apply?
Actually, I've applied already online. They wanted fun, flexible, and hardworking applicants. And I'm all three, so yeah. I wrote a cover letter and attached my resume. So I hope I hear back soon. I really want this job.
I'm sure.
One. Ahmed.
As a child, I could draw quite well. I remember going to the zoo when I was about 4 years old, and my mother was amazed because when we got home, I was able to draw the elephant. I could remember everything about it. Its huge ears, its trunk, and its rough grey skin. Years later, I was able to use my skills to design clothes and shoes, and that's what I do now. I work for a big fashion company, and I love it. And it all started with an elephant.
2. Candace.
I learned to be very practical a few years ago when I went to live in a tiny village. There weren't many services and you had to do everything yourself. Right now I can fix a roof, I'm able to install a washing machine, replace broken pipes, that kind of thing. I couldn't do any of that a few years ago. Anyway, I started doing odd jobs for people, got some qualifications and turned it into my business. I work with lots of different clients, people in their homes, restaurants, even public buildings. The best thing is being independent. The worst thing is when it's cold and wet and I'm on someone's roof and I have to finish the job.
3. Dan.
I was always good at organising parties. When a friend had a birthday or a graduation, they always called me. I could make cakes and arrange live music, and I always had fun ideas. A few years ago, I was able to arrange a party on the roof of an old factory. It was amazing, and I started thinking, I love doing this. So that's how I became a party organiser. I don't do it for the money. It's a great job because it's creative and practical, and you see people at their happiest.
4. Maxine.
I started young with technology. When I was 14, I used to build and repair computers just for fun. Luckily, it was a hobby that I was able to turn into my job. Now I can build websites, design apps, do almost anything related to computers. I've never designed a video game, but I love playing them.
Listen, people are talking about business advice. What is the best advice they have ever received? Complete the sentences. 1.
Information, not your name.
Hello, this is Donald Vaughn for Business Nightly. Tonight, we have some very successful business people on the show. We're going to ask what advice has helped them become successful, and they'll share their secrets of success. Let's start with our youngest guest, Dan Doppel, owner of Doppel Delights, the well-known bakery business. Dan, could you tell us the best business advice you have ever received?
Well, I think the main key to my success is just enjoying my work. When I was little, my grandmother lived with us. She was an excellent baker. I always loved helping her make pies and cakes for holidays with the family. When I was about 10 years old, my grandmother gave me this advice. She said, "Do what you love to do." So I did. I started my bakery 5 years ago, and I've never forgotten that advice. I think about it every day.
2. Next, let's hear from Nina Lotman, CEO of Nina International. You're a high-powered fashion executive, Ms. Lotman. Could you tell us what's behind your success?
Well, a lot of people have given me advice over the years, but I think the best advice came when I was in elementary school. See, when I was a kid, I was very shy. I didn't have many friends. The other kids used to tease me, and I was miserable. One day, I was feeling really down, and I guess my teacher must have noticed. After school, she stopped me on my way out of the class. She gave me this advice. Don't listen to criticism, Nina. She told me I just needed to believe in myself. I still remember that day. That advice has helped me through a lot of tough times.
3. All right, and now for our next guest, Jim Patterson, founder of Patterson Family Toys. Mr. Patterson, tell us the key to your business's growth and popularity.
Well, we started out as just a little company. I took over my father's toy store when he retired. When I started out, I was really ambitious. I worked a lot of long hours and got home pretty late. Sometimes I'd even work weekends. After a while, I realized I hadn't been spending much time with my wife and kids. I missed them. One day, I told my father how I was feeling, and he gave me the best advice I've ever received. He said, "Try to balance work and family life." That was about 10 years ago. Since then, I've made an effort to make time for both work and family, and I'm a lot happier.
4. And for our last guest tonight, Maura Brown, co-owner of Brown & Rogers Bookstores. What advice has helped you?
Well, you can't have a good business without good people. Business is all about people. That's the best part. I guess I didn't always think that way. When I was starting my business several years ago, my best friend, Carla Farnsworth, gave me this advice. She said, "Respect people for who they are." She meant whether it's the president of the corporation, an important customer, or a part-time employee, everybody deserves to be treated with the same amount of respect. I loved that advice, and I still believe it.
And that's all the time we have tonight, folks. Thanks very much to all of our guests for taking part in the only...
Most of us have a dream job when we're children, whether that's being a train driver, an astronaut, or a dancer. But those dreams don't come true for many people. I'm here today with careers coach Aniela Bass to talk about dream jobs.
Nice to meet you.
First of all, Aniela, what exactly does a careers coach do?
I help people decide what their career goals are and plan how to reach them. A lot of my clients are returning to work after raising children. Others want to change their careers completely and aren't sure where to start.
And was careers coach your dream job when you were younger?
Definitely not. I wanted to be a marine scientist and live on a boat studying whales and dolphins.
Oh, a very different career plan. But how about now? Is this your dream job?
I think that this is the ideal job for me at the moment. It combines lots of my interests and skills, and there are a lot of things I love about it. I get to help people improve their lives. I meet really interesting people, and each day is different. But it's not perfect because there is no such thing as the perfect job.
So you don't think dream jobs exist?
No, I don't. A lot of people start their careers thinking they'll end up in their dream job. But that's not the case for most people. I don't actually think the term dream job is helpful. It makes people try to achieve something that's impossible. All jobs have their good bits and bad bits. The key is to find a job where the good bits are so good that the bad things don't make you unhappy.
Great advice.
The other important thing to remember is that your ideal job changes over time. A job that was perfect for you in your 20s might not be perfect in your 30s. Your priorities, the things that are important to you, change during your life, and that job you've been dreaming of might not fit into your life anymore. I used to work 60 hours a week as a company director, a job I thought was my dream job. Now I'd rather spend weekends visiting my family than be stuck at the office. You need to regularly ask yourself what your dream is right now and if there's anything you'd prefer to be doing.
And what about a...
I was studying medicine in my second year at university, and everyone was so happy, so proud of me. Our son is going to be a doctor type of thing. Except I had a different feeling. I didn't share the excitement about being a doctor. In fact, I couldn't imagine myself as a doctor. Not a good one, anyway. I tried to ignore the feeling, but it just didn't work. In the end, I left the course, and obviously everyone was disappointed. And I was the most disappointed person of all. I was going to be the one in the family that everyone was proud of, and I'd let everyone down. For a few months, I thought about what I really wanted to do with my life, and decided on a new direction. And here I am, 10 years later, and I'm a very successful accountant. And a happy one, too. Some people are born doctors, and I'm a born accountant. Hello, my name is Dan Barnett.
And I'm Melissa Barnett.
We are entrepreneurs, and together we run a business called Live Your Life Adventure Holidays.
Years ago, we realised we didn't like spending our holidays just lying on a beach doing nothing. We're both very active and like to be out of our comfort zone. So we started organising adventure holidays for ourselves.
And then our friends asked us to do the same for them. Pretty soon we were arranging 10 to 15 holidays a year. So we realised it was a business opportunity.
We organise holidays in various locations around the world. Our holidays are a mixture of physical activity, stunning natural environment, and cultural experiences. For example, you can stay on a farm in Romania, climb mountains in Turkey, or walk along the Italian coastline and then learn to make fresh pasta with an Italian chef. We also offer riskier activities where you need some training. Examples include caving, rock climbing, and trekking.
What's special about Live Your Life is that we work very closely with our clients to arrange the perfect holiday for them. And also, we've personally tried out every trip that we offer.
Adventure tourism is a very large tourism sector. The market for global adventure tourism is worth nearly $500 million, and it's forecast to grow steadily over the coming years. So this is a huge market. Our turnover figures for the last 3 years have been €70,000, €100,000, and €150,000.
We'd like to expand our business to cover more countries in Asia and South America and to reach new clients in these parts of the world. We're hoping that an investor will have business experience in these areas and useful contacts that can open doors for us.
And we're asking for €100,000 for a 10% share of the business.
The idea's great, but I have a couple of questions. Who is the target market for these adventure holidays? Is it mostly families, couples, individuals?
All of the above. We tailor the holiday to the client's needs.
Okay. So, can you tell me about your social media strategy?
Yes, of course. We have several social media channels, so we try to make sure that there's a constant stream of photos and videos of people enjoying their adventures on social media. And then we also hold competitions.
Listen, a man is talking about Starbucks Corporation. What are the company's 6 guiding business principles? Number the principles from 1 to 6. 1.
Starbucks is a famous coffee company. In big cities, you see Starbucks stores near train stations, in shopping malls, and on many street corners. Starbucks began in 1971 in Seattle, Washington at Pike Place Market. The company was named after a character in the famous book Moby Dick. Today, one of Starbucks' main business principles is recognize that profitability is a key to our future success. But back in 1971, no one knew just how profitable this little coffee company would become.
2.
In 1987, Howard Schultz acquired Starbucks and changed its name to Starbucks Corporation. As he expanded the company, Schultz wanted Starbucks to be a place where people would enjoy working. He wanted the employees to be happy. An example of how Schultz tried to achieve this is another of the company's principles, which says, provide a great work environment and treat each other with respect and dignity. When Schultz took over, Starbucks had just 17 stores.
3.
The new owner of Starbucks, Howard Schultz, was influenced greatly by a business trip he took to Italy. He wanted the taste of the coffee and the look of the cafes to match a coffee bar he had visited in Milan. He thought that serving delicious, high-quality coffee would make Starbucks a successful business. This is demonstrated by the Starbucks company principle, apply the highest standards of excellence to the coffee. Schultz's plan worked, and Starbucks stores began opening in many locations. In 1991, Starbucks opened its first airport location at SeaTac International Airport in Seattle. By that year, the number of Starbucks stores was 116.
4.
10 years later, in 2001, Starbucks opened its 300th store in Japan. It now had shops in 17 countries, including Kuwait, New Zealand, Malaysia, and the Philippines. The international popularity of Starbucks is one result of the company principle that says, make diversity an important part of the business style. By selling a wide variety of products that appealed to a variety of people's tastes, Starbucks gained success quickly. Between its U.S. and international stores, Starbucks now had a total of 4,709 store locations.
5.
1 year later, in 2002, Starbucks launched a new service that added to its popularity. It introduced its own wireless internet connection and made it available to customers in its cafes. Soon, people started going to Starbucks not just to drink, but to do internet research, surf the web on their laptop computers. One example, the principle, develop satisfied customers all of the time. Since the previous year, Starbucks had added almost 1,500 stores around the world for a total of 6,193 stores.
6.
Starbucks is proud of its socially responsible business style. The company's final business principle is contribute to the community and our environment. In order to do this, the company makes efforts to reduce overall waste at its stores by recycling and using recycled products. The company also donates to various charities. In 2005, Starbucks sold a prepaid card featuring the image of Ichiro Suzuki, a well-known player for the Seattle Mariners baseball team. The money from the card was to benefit children's charities. The total number of Starbucks stores in 2005 reached 9,671. And Starbucks is still growing today.
I'm going to talk about Marie Maynard Daly. You might not be familiar with her name, but she made an important contribution to science in the 20th century. Her discoveries have helped us understand how cells work in the body. She also figured out how fatty diets and smoking can result in serious illness. Daly had a lifelong passion for science, beginning in her childhood. She was born in Queens in New York in 1921. Her father had moved to the United States from the West Indies, and he'd also wanted to be a scientist. Although he started a chemistry degree, he couldn't afford to finish it, and he ended up working for the post office. Her mother was from Washington, D.C., and she came from a family that loved reading. Daly's grandparents had a big collection of science books, which deepened her interest in the subject. As a teenager, Daly had the chance to go to Hunter College, which was one of the best high schools in the country. It was also where she began to master the subject of chemistry. After that, she went to Queens College to study a degree in chemistry. She paid for it by working part-time in the laboratory at her old school. Although she must have been very busy, she still managed to achieve some of the best grades in her year. When she finished her degree, she went on to take a PhD, which is the highest university degree you can get. Daly was the first female African American to be awarded a PhD in chemistry. Daly worked as a science teacher after she graduated from university, but she kept doing research. She was given money to work in the field of biochemistry, which is how chemicals work in the body. Although she worked in different areas of biochemistry, her most important research showed how the wrong type of diet can cause heart attacks. If she hadn't carried out her research, we might not know the importance of having a healthy diet. She eventually went to work in the Einstein College of Medicine, as well as the American Heart Association. Apart from her work as a scientist, Daly was active in encouraging minority groups to get involved in science. She was probably motivated by her own experience as an African American woman working in that field. While she was at Einstein College, she organized a program to help black people apply for university places. Not only that, but she also encouraged more minority women to study science, and she provided financial support to help people go to university. Marie Maynard Daly should inspire us all to work hard and follow our dreams.